So why was Strategic REI created? Well, since 2019, about 75% of our inquiries were real estate related, especially, like I said, during COVID. After starting the journey of US investing, most investors soon realized that they wanted a visa for many reasons, even if not at first. Existing real estate investors and others seeking visas would love a path to immigrate through real estate. And due to its inherently passive nature, real estate investing alone is not a viable option as a visa business unless you're buying 8, 10, 12 doors. And not everybody can afford that. You're looking at over $1 million, as I said in the video. So my superpower is transitioning a passive real estate investor into an active real estate business owner. And we brainstormed ideas, Carolyn and I, one night at my home, my previous home, in I think it was January of 2022, right? Yeah, and came up with this idea with both of our remarkable pads when we were jotting down things, and we came up with this idea of putting together a business in a box that basically replaced the need for those 8 or 10 doors and allowed you to have a business that would qualify for a visa through real estate investing. But that way the real estate is not a part of the visa, so you can buy and sell the real estate much more freely. You don't have to report everything. What is SREI and why is it the only option for those seeking visas through real estate investing? So this is where we're going to do a comparison, because a lot of people have found it confusing to understand what this SREI, Strategic REI, is. Why is it replacing a business? How is it a business? Well, basically, it's a business in a box which overlays the client's traditional real estate investing. So SREI becomes the business. It's almost like an unfranchise. Okay, so what does that mean? So a lot of people, franchises are traditionally one of the easiest ways to get a visa because they're a business in a box and they're turnkey and they're easy and the government understands them. So lots of clients like Airbnb. Yes, we can build a business around Airbnb, but what does that mean? How does that look? Some clients want multifamily, very popular real estate type right now, right? Some clients want specific types of real estate. Maybe they want industrial, some want self-storage, some even want mobile home parks.
So typically with our clients, we can include flipping properties as part of the portfolio, but on its own, it can't just be the only real estate focus that you have in your business, primarily because through this visa strategy, you need to be able to show that your business is on a regular basis making money, right? So the issue with flipping is, you find a property 3 or 6 months later, you sell it. Now, one, you don't have any asset that you're holding, and also it's very unpredictable in terms of your month-to-month cash flow. So a lot of times we incorporate flipping into, for example, our clients will have some long-term properties like rentals, and they'll have a few short-term and then do flips in between. Or some clients that one that we're working with right now, he has new builds is his primary focus. And then he's doing some flips in between and a smaller amount of rentals as well. So we need to, again, look at this from the visa perspective. How am I going to continue to have cash flow month to month and increase that cash flow over the years, and also increase the amount of employees that I have? So typically with flipping, people use subcontractors to be able to do the work. And so it's very rare, unless you have, for example, a project manager, it's very rare to have a lot of in-house employees for that type of business. So again, we always look, when we start working together, I always look at what your goals are and how can we incorporate that into what we know is going to help get you qualified for the visa.
Traditional real estate investing, in the business plan and financials are not going to qualify unless you're investing in, like I said, 8 to 10 doors, and there's no visa specific counseling or guidance or anything like that. But in Strategic REI, it's all built in. You can invest in real estate freely. You get custom software programs and a CRM build out, deal analysis through the first closing or the closing of your first transaction, weekly one-on-one coaching and consulting, and collaborative build-out of a visa-friendly customized business model and budget. So this is the checklist to see if you're actually a good candidate for for strategic REI. And if you don't check off all these boxes, you're probably not the best candidate, at least not at this point, maybe in the future. You have a real estate investing background. Now, some of our clients do not, but they're just motivated and we can make it happen. You are a motivated action taker. That is required, because if there's not a mindset fit, we're not going to be able to work with you. It's just, we have too much invested in you and your outcome, and we want to make sure that we're a good fit on both sides. You understand the benefits of getting a visa. I mean, obviously you're here, so hopefully that's part of why. You are driven and motivated to invest in the US, or maybe you already do. Your budget is at least $200,000. Now, let me explain what that $200,000 is about. So in order to invest in any kind of property in the US, you need some kind of capital, right? So the other 90 to 150,000 is to invest in those first down payments on those properties. And we ideally would like to see 2 in your portfolio, or at least under contract, 1 in your portfolio and 1 under contract at the time of application. Okay, so a US visa allows you to live, work, and run your business in the US. It allows you to invest freely. It allows you to go back and forth across the border. And it allows you to get a US Social Security number, and also allows you to benefit from 1031 exchange benefits. So a visa does not require you to live anywhere. The visa that we focus on is called an E2 visa, which is a non-immigrant 5-year renewable visa. And what that means is you have 5 years to run your business before you have to think about renewing or changing to a different status. And you have basically the freedom to come and go and run your business without interruption as you are moving through the process. It is based on an investment in a substantial investment in a non-marginal business. If you were investing in a traditional business, that investment is usually around $100,000, but we obviously mandate higher because we want you to be able to close on your first property or 2. And that's part of why our business model is $110,000, including all of the visa services, the entity setup, pretty much everything but the filing fees.
So it's interesting because we get a lot of clients who have some pre-existing properties that are usually long-term rentals. And so what we do with them is, again, we look at the big picture, the 5-year plan, and we say, okay, can we still keep this as a long-term rental, but incorporate, let's say their next property is a midterm rental or a short-term rental. And, and then in year 2, you bring in more midterm, short-term rentals. Again, it's hard for me to say because there's no set outline of how it needs to be. And that's a beautiful thing about SREI is this is custom built to what you really want to have as a business. And then what Lauren and I do is we just guide the process to make sure this is going to qualify you for a visa.
So this slide is the 25 steps that are involved in strategic REI, the business in a box, okay? And we're going to go through these steps one by one. This slide is kind of the core of what we do and how we do it. And we do share this with you, and we keep you apprised of which step you're at once you become a client of ours, okay? Onboarding call to kickstart the real estate business building process. That will involve Carolyn and probably likewise myself. And we will guide you to start setting up what you're planning to do in the US and how you're going to accomplish it, and whether it's visa friendly, and if it's not, how we can make it visa friendly. Weekly one-on-one calls to custom build your business plan and budget, because that is so important to your success in the US and to building your business and getting a visa. Intros to tax experts and transactional attorneys to set up the 4-entity structure. And these are the 4 entities that we set up. Now, don't pay attention. It says C Corp. It doesn't have to be a C Corp. It says holding LP. It should always be some kind of an LP to avoid double taxation. Property owning LLC. That could be a C Corp. It could be an LLC. And then there's the SREI business. And that is the business that's actually the visa applicant. So this is the 4 entities that are included that we set up for your E2 visa structure that we created with the Herson team and with Mr. Bloom. So after we set up the 4 entities, we work with you to set up bank accounts and obtain tax IDs. So tax IDs are like a social security number for each business. You cannot set up a bank account in the US without a tax ID, and we will help you and guide you through that process. Then we introduce you to additional strategic connections such as funding, financing, and legal. So our SREI team offers guidance and research regarding leads and assists with initial property due diligence. So maybe Carolyn, you could address that real quick.
So yeah, through the process in SREI, apart from obviously everything that's required for the visa application, the business plan, we work with you on looking for the properties that are appropriate for this type of investing. And again, so that to ensure that you're able to qualify for the visa, we assist you with, Lauren has, like she said before, a huge connection of realtors across the US. So depending on the state or the market that you want to go into, we connect you with that realtor and we work very closely with them to make sure that the properties that are being presented to you, again, are going to be appropriate for the visa application. And so as we get leads from the realtors together, we work on looking at the property, doing an analysis on it. Does this property fit what you're looking for, whether it's long-term rental, short-term rental, to make sure that it is a sound investment. We also help you through the negotiation process, working with the realtor on putting the offer in. What is the process of closing if you've never purchased any properties in the US? You know, the beautiful thing about this is we hold your hand through the whole process of buying this property in the US, even for some of our seasoned investors. So I'm talking about, we had one of our clients who had a portfolio of over 200 properties in Canada. This was her first time buying a property in the US, so she could qualify for a visa. And I know that one of the major things she was grateful for is that we walked her through every step of the way of acquiring that property as well, because she didn't realize how different it was from buying a property in Canada.
And then following the deal analysis, you'll jointly identify which properties you're going to invest in. And there's sometimes when we'll say, nope, not right. Or, you know, based on Carolyn's experience, it doesn't make sense or it doesn't fit the model. And then once we do decide, we'll help you through the negotiations, sometimes creative financing, which is Carolyn's background and specialty, and make sure that we're negotiating and completing the process. And then we help you build your CRM and your systems and all of that background that you need so that you can reach out and find other opportunities as well. And we will help you with the hiring process for your initial employee or two, depending on how quickly you're planning on hiring. And then once that's all done, we come to the fun, exciting third phase of our program, which is the immigration and investment visa process itself. So just a quick recap. This is traditional real estate investing on the left, or my left, and strategic REI on the right. As you can see, this slide we will make available to you so you can understand the differences. The traditional real estate investing is passive and not visa friendly, whereas the SREI is a business in a box overlaying the traditional real estate so that this becomes your unfranchised business.
If you want to live a life where you want to invest in real estate and you want to do it in the US and you want to have the flexibility, you know, this is an amazing opportunity. We only have 4 spaces available, like Lauren said, because it's really about that one-on-one process that Carolyn goes through with you and also with Lauren. So the link to apply is investingacrossborders.net/SREI call. So SREICALL. And we'll put the link in the chat right now so that you guys can just book the call, because really this is the option for real estate investors. And if you're not a real estate investor, then you might want to, if you want to become one and you want to take charge of your life and finally be able to accomplish your goals, then definitely this is for you.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is a timely decision and you need to take action as soon as you can. You can't wait on this because it may not be available. As time goes on, the consulate gets busier and busier. The winter is extremely busy, and we would love to get you going on this so that we can get you in for an interview in the early spring and not have you wait until next year, within the state of inertia, not invest in the US and wondering when you're going to get started in this process. So hopefully we'll see you on a call soon. As I said, there's only 4 spots available. Not 4 spots for interviews, but 4 spots for actual clients, and that's it. And if you'd like to be one, take advantage of the opportunity now. We hope to see you at a call soon.